The actions of the Prithviraj trailer has been varied, emotional and extreme, and after watching the trailer probably countless number of times, I am as muddled with my perspective as I was when I saw the teaser. The Prithviraj trailer is a reminder of the star-led system in Hindi cinema, which will be the make it or break it fate of this industry. The industry is piggybacking off of the star power of actors, assuming that people will come flocking into theaters due to their association with the project, versus it genuinely being a marriage of an actor investing into the vision created wholeheartedly. Rather than getting emotional and just providing you my perspective of what I didn't like about the trailer, I think one needs to be sensitive for the sheer investment that has gone into this project and take every aspect of it and segregate it between good and possibly underwhelming. We are at this point judging only the rushes we have seen and should present our perspective with caution rather than completely dismiss it, assuming that the trailer has provided us everything we need to know about the movie. As I said, there have been multiple times where the trailer has done a disservice to the film, which turned out to be rather engaging in the theater. So let's talk about it point by point, and you also do chime in on what you really liked about the trailer or what completely disconnected you or you found problematic. When it was announced that Akshay Kumar will be featuring in a film on the life of Prithviraj Chauhan, I was genuinely curious and excited because it made me hopeful of two things. One, that it will compel the actor to completely invest and transform himself as an actor for such a memorable figure in Indian history, and two, we would get the writing and storytelling of Chandraprakash Dwivedi, glimpses of which we saw vividly and remember as he donned the role of Chanakya in the early 90s on TV. After the teaser, it seemed like we would only be receiving the latter, and I still think that Prithviraj and its success solely rests on the storytelling of the director, because the initial rushes of the performances and dialogue delivery really has me skeptical. So let's get to it point by point. The scale and investment. What is undeniable is that Yash Raj Films has really invested a lot in making Prithviraj the film on the big screen. As we have seen historical epics executed brilliantly like Tanaji and Padmavat, we are used to high-octane action films that are also coupled with engaging storylines of warriors protecting their motherland from invaders. These movies were presented in a commercial scale and at a pitch for which the masses immediately connected to the screenplay, and one remembers several facets of it, one which includes the scale and investment by the production company. The costumes, the production design looks opulent and massive as ever. Frames are filled with hundreds of extras and it's representative of the time and period in which the movie is set. So the effort in making the film larger than life is undeniable. It's not as if the people behind the scenes are half-assing their work in any shape or form. Also, let me know your thoughts on Yash Raj's marketing strategy, because a movie like Jayesh Bhai Jordar has been barely marketed and the same happened with Sandeep or Pinky Farrar. I hope the same does not go for Prithviraj, as this movie on such a scale deserves a full marketing push. Why is it that the other titles have not been marketed to their full potential? You think there's something unique about it? Let me know in the comments below. Cinematography and color palette. One thing that I found extremely jarring to the eye while watching the trailer was the color palette of the film that just seems like a massive indulgence of the color yellow. With many period epics already seen by the Hindi audience, one now cannot differentiate with the frames of different films because the same yellow tint and abundance has been incorporated in every frame, not making it stand out as a distinct and unique product and coming across as one of many. One of the major reasons why Padmavat and Tanaji stood out as a visual spectacle was the distinct color palette of the film that varied from frame to frame, whereas Prithviraj comes across as oddly one-tone, something that should not be the case of a film presented on such a massive scale. Battle sequences and storyline. Looking at the battle sequences, I'm curious on which version of the storyline Chandraprakash Dwivedi will explore, as there are several adaptations on how history transpired, accounts noting that the clashes between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj were only 2, whereas some state that the number of conflicts range from 14 to 22. Irrespective, I assume that the film will focus on the rise and power of the young king, the internal conflict within the subcontinent among other kingdoms, the marriage with Sanyogita, the daughter of the Raja of Kannauj, and finally the two significant battles, one in which Prithviraj's army is blindsided and experience many casualties, only to retaliate and give Muhammad Ghori a taste of their own medicine. Awkward pair and focus. I have in great detail and length spoken about the problematic age difference between male and female heroines in Hindi cinema, and this is the case with several industries as well. You look at Tamil and Telugu cinema also, and men over 45 and 50 are paired opposite heroines in their mid-20s, and we are to assume that it is normal. While talking about the teaser, I had mentioned from the years 2006 to 2009, there was a very popular TV show titled Dharti Ka Veer Yodha Prithviraj Chauhan, in which a young Raj Tokus played the title role. A young-looking face with long hair, the child star did a brilliant job in portraying the role of the legendary and brave figure from Indian history that attempted to protect the Indian subcontinent from invaders. It is concluded from history, or at least when it comes to the ballpark, that Prithviraj Chauhan ascended to the throne while he was only 11 years old and was martyred around the age of 26. So what anyone would conclude is that for a role that demands actors to be of a particular age demographic, you will either cast it for the same or attempt at recreating the same age bracket. And I think the creators are just banking on Akshay Kumar's star power, knowing very well he isn't going to completely physically transform himself to look a certain way. Manushi Chillad and Akshay's pairing just seems forced in my eyes, but I hope that the romantic angle doesn't become the core focus of the film and just a subplot of the narrative. The age difference debate will carry on, but it feels like beating on a dead horse at this point because it just won't end no matter how many times I bring it up. The antagonist. People tend to forget about the fact that Manav Vij absolutely killed it as an antagonist in Lal Kaptan. Most people have not seen the film and underestimate the potential of the man as a performer. And as the trailer has still kept his personality at bay, not completely exploring it so we understand his character traits, I actually have my hopes up that he will make full use of his commanding presence and do a formidable job as the force to be reckoned with. Music and supporting cast. Quite contrary to people's opinion about the background score provided by Shankar Ehsaan Loy, I think that the BGM that we heard in the latter half of the trailer and the full teaser actually fully encapsulates the exhilarating battle that will eventually transpire in the film. I think the actual problem is that the trailer has been haphazardly edited, where the actual theme of the film is barely encapsulated in the 3-minute piece. It just seems like a random montage shots of the love story and battle sequences rather than a meticulous piece like that of Padmavat, which worked in unison with the background score almost like a choreography rather than just random frames like this one. It's great to see Sonu Sood as Chandbardai, but Sanjay Dutt and his portrayal almost seems one-tone to other shouting matches he has embarked upon in other historical epics. Akshay Kumar's look and dialogue delivery. I cannot change Akshay Kumar and his process to prepare for roles. He is a man who believes in giving a limited number of days for films and then moving on to the next project. Method acting is not his cup of tea, and it's clear with this film because he looks the same like many of his other looks of the different characters in different worlds that he has portrayed. The ability of an actor to make you forget about his real life personality is where actors really shine, and I just can't get the fact out of my head that this is Akshay Kumar. Not Prithviraj, but Akshay Kumar. His voice modulation seems similar to most of his roles, and it doesn't stand out as a role that people will remember where Akshay put his heart and soul into the project. It's more like another film that he completed and moved on to the next one. Akshay is a good actor, there's no two ways about it. But movies like this that require actors to dig deep and venture into the depths that are never explored just require more. And I wonder whether the fate of this film will ever make Akshay Kumar reconsider how he goes about with projects ahead. Probably not. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below of your honest thoughts regarding the trailer. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.
But obviously a film of this scale, ये जो magnitude है, इसके लिए शायद ज़्यादा समय लगा होगा.
नहीं जी, 42 days.